friends, can we just take a moment to appreciate the beauty that is this chair?
It's so pretty. I feel like I should be reading you a bedtime story or something.
Or I should be doing some kind of like fancy photo shoot in this thing. Okay, enough joking around. Let's get to business. In my pretty chair. Hey friends, Sheila here. I'm a nutritionist and nature lover, and I just finished a 3.5-month cycle tour from Scotland to Croatia. I spent a large chunk of that cycling in Scotland. I was only supposed to spend 3 weeks, but I loved it so much, I basically spent double that time cycling in Scotland. And then a whole bunch more just house sitting and visiting friends here, because it is a beautiful country. And it is a beautiful country to cycle. However, it comes with its little challenges, and so I wanted to talk about my 5 tips for cycling in Scotland today. That way you can plan a cycle tour of Scotland and feel prepared. My number 1 tip is to use the National Cycle Network. There is a cycle network that goes all over the UK, and it has some great bike paths all over Scotland. I use the National Cycle Network to get all over Edinburgh, and then to get from Edinburgh up through Perth, through the Cairngorms to Inverness. I also used it to get over from Glasgow to Edinburgh. The only small downside I have found is there is no National Cycle Network paths over on the kind of northwest part of Scotland, so that's where Skye and Mull and some of those beautiful islands are. So when you get over there, you do need to use other methods of guidance, but the National Cycle Network will get you around many beautiful spots in Scotland. So it is a great resource to start building your trip. Number 2 is to prepare for rain. Scotland is a pretty wet and rainy place, but that should not be a deterrent. It is also a beautiful place. There are many sunny days, and really what it comes down to is just being prepared. If you have all the right gear, cycling in the rain really isn't all that bad. So number 1, you need a really good rain jacket. Then you need really good rain pants. You need waterproof booties to go over your shoes, warm waterproof gloves, and finally, some sunglasses for all the rain that's trying to get into your eyes. Now, better than sunglasses is actually yellow tinted glasses. Whereas sunglasses darken everything and protect your eyes from the sun, yellow tinted glasses will brighten everything on an overcast rainy day so you can see better. Sadly, mine broke partway through my trip, but they served me very well in Scotland. Once you have all the necessary rain gear, you create a nice little warm cocoon so you can bike through the rain and not have it get to you. Number 3 is to prepare for midges.
Oh my god, can you see those? They're like on my face. Oh my god.
Midges are these little tiny bugs. They like to be by lakes and streams and places where it is wet. You will not generally find them in cities. You will also not find them when it is windy. But if it is a still day and it has maybe just rained and you're in a more rural area, you are likely to encounter midges. They fly in swarms and they bite. There can be a lot of them, and they are very determined. This should not be a deterrent to come to Scotland. It just means that you need to be prepared. Some people go so far as to buy nets for days where the midges are really bad. There are also sprays you can buy here. Avon has something called Skin So Soft a lot of people used. I bought a spray called Smidge. On my whole trip, I only had to use it twice, I think. The midges will not bother you while you're cycling because you are too fast for them. They will only bother you when you stop, and I found usually more so in the evening. So I tried to just stop in the afternoon, have some time to make myself an early dinner, and then tuck myself into my tent before the midges got too bad. So there are ways of avoiding them. You just gotta be prepared. Number 4 is to know your lodging options. In Scotland, wild camping is legal, which means you can camp just about anywhere. Generally all fields, forests, they're all fair game. You are welcome to pitch your tent there for the night. Of course, the leave no trace principle always applies. Be respectful, take everything with you. But you can camp just about anywhere legally. There are also lots of campsites. They have showers. Sometimes they'll even have kettles or other helpful, enjoyable things. They're usually fairly priced, and there are lots of them. They're not hard to find. Of course, you have your usual hotels, Airbnbs, hostels. One thing I found pretty cool about Scotland, and I don't know for sure if it was just the fact that I was traveling in May and June, so like more of the off season, but one thing I noticed was that unlike hostels in a lot of the rest of Europe that have a bit more of kind of like a young party vibe, Scottish hostels tended to have all ages. They had families, they had older couples, because most people were out exploring nature. It was mostly people that were hiking or biking or doing some kind of nature excursions as a family. So that was pretty cool. You could get a lot of good advice from chatting to people about different beautiful places to go in the area. Number 5 is to get ready for fun. I know, I'm super corny, but I really loved cycling in Scotland. Like I said, I did double the time cycling in Scotland than I expected to. One, I find the cycling culture in Scotland is amazing. Generally, wherever you go, cycle tours will always wave to each other and be supportive. But I just found in Scotland, it was like next level. Like everyone was super happy to wave and chat and lend a hand. I met a lot of really lovely cyclists around Scotland. Scotland is also the place where I used warm showers the most, where I had the most cyclists that were willing to host me. So I got to learn a lot about all the beautiful places in Scotland that I could visit. So definitely check out warm showers. I will link to it below if you're planning to cycle around Scotland. Scotland is just so beautiful. There's history, there's castles and ruins. There's so much stunning nature. The Highlands are gorgeous. It's just mountains everywhere. Absolutely beautiful. There are so many islands you can do. I actually didn't make it to the Outer Hebrides, but they have a bike route all along the Outer Hebrides Islands, and I have only heard good things. Skye is beautiful. I did a full video about Skye you can watch as well. I went to Mull, which is beautiful, but there are just so many extra islands. Scotland is a beautiful place. I found it to be incredibly cycle friendly. I really cannot recommend it enough. If you have any questions about cycling in Scotland that I did not answer in today's video, you can leave them in the comments below. I'm happy to answer anything if I can. If you liked this video and you found it helpful, please give it a like. It really supports my channel. And if you want to be notified whenever I put out new videos, hit subscribe and the little bell below. Thanks. Have a good one.